And to put this at the beginning of the show, before I hit the actual end record button, spoiler alert, because we definitely dropped a shit ton of spoilers in this episode. So yeah,
Are you gonna
there you
move
go.
that to the front?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I'm about to say that's probably for
You,
the best.
you should just put spoiler on like the cover. Of
I'll do that too, but I'm gonna
Yeah.
it'll start with that now. So.
And we're live. Welcome to the Up or Down podcast, people. I'm Brian, and this is Dan and Ziggy. And
Everybody?
I don't know whose transition worked worse there, mine or yours. Like your arms just went into your body, and I'm like, what happened? Anyhow,
Right?
all right. So I don't know. Does anyone have any hot takes for today from the week?
Start with Dan.
I always start with the hot takes. Why do I gotta be the angry one first?
Because you're always the one with hot takes.
Fine. Rings of Power is not getting enough justice. There's my hot take. People really hate it, and I really loved it. I don't know.
I mean, I'm part of the people that don't find it entertaining, so I really.
Yeah, I
there's
still
nothing
haven't.
can
I
say.
still haven't watched it yet, but I am looking forward to watching it. So
I'm not. I wouldn't miss it if I didn't watch it. Not gonna lie to you. It's just for me. I try to get into it, and then I just realized that I'm like synced into my phone, like 5 minutes into it, and for me, hot take. I've been enjoying House of Dragons. I've been enjoying it on a weekly basis. It keeps on getting good. It draws me in. I guess just like the darker, grittier things, because I think that's where, for me, Rings of Power lacks. Right?
and my hot take is this season of Rick and Morty has been horrible.
Damn.
Like that show, I've loved every season of it so far, but this season has just been bad.
You mean they don't have the Szechuan chicken sauce
I don't
coming
want to.
out again?
I don't want to misspeak,
No.
but didn't they get like a new director or something?
No, they still have the same director and everything. It's just it's just they're just the stories just aren't like ringing with me like they used to.
Okay.
I think it was going to be Nietzsche anyway. I think that it was, for a while it was good, and then I think they realized that they were being like too intelligent for the masses. Like, because like you have to know like a lot about physics and other things, like science related, in order to really get some of their jokes.
Well,
Like,
I think
really,
that's what the
really
problem is. I think that this season it feels like they kind of dumbed down the show too much.
I think, but that's conforming to the masses.
Yeah.
So like they're trying to draw more people in by, and like the people who've been there from the beginning, like yourself, and like I used to watch it a lot. I really haven't watched it, to be honest with you, but for me, like, it started getting less entertaining.
I mean, like what? How many seasons is it now?
4?
6, 7?
4.
No, it's got to be more than 4.
I can give you an
Pretty
exact
sure.
answer
I
in a
think
second.
it's 6.
I'm pretty sure this is the 4th season, or 5th, one or the other.
It says 6 seasons.
Yeah.
All right, well then Google lies. Let me tell you. There was like a gap. It looks like because it started in 2013.
Yeah. Yeah. The one season they took a mid-season finale that was like a year.
Pandemic.
Yeah.
Blah blah.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't want to. I feel like we will likely have a much greater conversation about House of Dragons at a later date, but I am the complete opposite. I'm finding it so hard to get through. I really am. I'm like 5 episodes in, and I just. Let's put it this way. In this weekend, I have watched 4 brand new shows that I've never watched a single episode before. And that is the only one that I didn't finish. I finished every other thing that I watched.
Hit me with the 4 shows. I want to know.
So I watched The Bear, which is the FX show.
Great show.
Which was phenomenal. I went
I
back.
like Lip, though.
I see. That's actually the reason. It was one of the reasons I watched it. But what I liked about it the most is that I think it's the first show that I've watched that like acknowledged the pandemic, which I thought was at least interesting. They didn't go like crazy into it or anything like that, but they did acknowledge that it existed and that it happened. So it feels extremely current, and it feels like a restaurant really probably did go through some serious problems during that time. That's what I think that's like a side thing of what I enjoyed about it, but I thought the show was pretty great, and I do like Lip a bunch. I literally went back and rewatched the entire Newsroom this weekend. Like, all, I don't even know, like 20 plus hours of the Newsroom. And just I literally couldn't turn it. I watched it until like 3 o'clock in the morning. And this is a show that I've watched probably at least twice already, but it's probably been 5 or 6 years. And it actually reminded me of like a quote, like, every time I rewatch that show, I don't really remember, I don't remember the episodes. Like, I don't remember like every story being told or everything they covered. I remember like my favorite ones, but like really what it is that what I remember most about the show is how it made me feel, and that show has always made me feel good. And then there was another new show that Kylie and I started watching. I don't remember the name of it. It was shit. I'll figure it out in a second. But yeah, the point was that when I started watching House of Dragons Tuesday of last week, I watched 2 episodes the first day, an episode the second day, and 2 episodes on Friday. And I just don't know. Like, I'm hoping the second half of the season's better, but this is just like a drag. The time skips are annoying. There's like 3 different actors for a single character. It's just like, it's so much for one fucking season. Like, it's just, I don't know. I'm very unattracted to it currently. I will finish it because like, I'm gonna finish it, but if it were like 5 years ago and it was my 5 episode test, I'd absolutely would never turn it back on ever again.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, like, so the reason that I like the show, and this is just for me, I literally everything you just said, I felt the same way about the show prior to me getting into like the second half of the season. It feels like it picked up a lot of like, I gotta think it like I was thinking about it from a perspective of watching Game of Thrones. They had so many families where they were hopping around, so they were able to fill up episodes, and to the point where you didn't really have to like really know what was really going on, because like they just kept on reiterating it. Yes, the 5 families that they were doing it just kept on cycling around, so it really gave you like an in-depth look. And now that I think they're focusing on like 3 really factions / families in House of Dragons, it's kind of like, I don't know, I feel like it's just, it was hard to follow at first, but now since I'm like entrenched in the world, I know exactly what's going on, and I'm like, oh shit, like, I mean, like, you can see it, coming and whatnot. So
my only real counter is that through 5 episodes, there's one character I give a shit about. Game of Thrones was the complete opposite. Like, literally in the first episode, you had like 10 characters that you were following that all felt important, and then through the first 5 episodes, you were like, either A, they might have been dead, let's be honest, but B, if they weren't dead, you were just way more intrigued by everything that was going on. This show is like, literally, the first 5 episodes are built around one character, and no one else fucking matters to me. Like, literally nobody else.
So I think that, while I think you're right, I think what they're leaning on is the fact that they're like trying to pull you in with the dragons. Because if you really think about Game of Thrones, when we first watched it, we really didn't get enough of the dragons. There was many episodes where we were sitting there, we're like, come on, give me the dragons, give me the dragons, give me the dragons, and then it's like, you get the dragons for like 2 seconds. You're like, for real? They couldn't.
Or not even 2 seconds.
Exactly.
It's very possible the reason why I don't like the show anyway, because I hated the Targaryens the most to begin with. So it's very possible that this is playing into that. But like,
you're semi-biased then.
I mean, I just don't give a fuck. I just don't. I don't care.
I mean, they're all. I think they're mostly supposed to be people you're supposed to hate anyway, because like they're all horrible people.
I'm okay with hating people, but like, it's. I'm not okay when I'm just like, I just don't care. Like, that's the problem here. Like, I never hated Daenerys, right? Never hated her. I just never gave a shit. And I hated how they put her up on a pedestal for, like, literally the end of 4 seasons in a row, for crying out loud. So that's why, like, when the show, even when they announced the show, I was just like, yeah, I'll watch it. But I'm just, I don't know. I'll probably finish it by the time we record again, so maybe I'll have a different tune.
Yeah. Well, so I took a deep dive into some things this weekend too. Me and Kel started watching The Winchesters, which is the prequel to Supernatural, which is pretty good. Already like one of the characters in there. There is a Spanish dude that is a little bit light in the feet, and he is absolutely hilarious. He is great. He's making fun of the main character like all the time, and I'm just like, man, I love this guy. He's awesome. So we watched the Winchesters. We watched the movie that Netflix just released, which was the Marlon Wayans movie. It's escaping me, but it was pretty good. It was decent all around. The general premise of the movie was that the original guy who was like known for doing bad things during Halloween, basically took a deal with the devil, and if he can exchange a soul with his soul by midnight on Halloween, then he would be able to walk the earth again. And it's like, it's kind of sort of kid friendly, no real cursing or anything like that. It's pretty good. I tried to get through the Munsters, the Rob Zombie version that just popped out. Absolutely fucking not. About 15 minutes of it, and I was like, I'm done. This is just not entertaining. It's just, I couldn't do it. And I like Rob Zombie. I like him a lot. Like, I like a decent amount of his work. He has a lot of gratuitous violence in a lot of his movies. And yeah, I watched the Munsters and it was rated PG, and I was like, yikes.
Like, why am I watching this?
I was like, ooh, yeah, sure, no thank you. And then, I've been watching Blacklist here and there, which that just came out with a new season, which is kind of weird because they're doing it without the main character, because they, you guys can figure that out. Yeah. But I mean, we're talking about 9 seasons in.
Yeah.
So yeah, but that was about my week.
I just finished watching the first season of Chucky. It was actually really good.
Was Liv on it?
No, she's going to be in the second season that hasn't aired yet.
Okay.
But I found out something watching it, that when they made the contract for the show, they are able to say fuck 3 times per episode.
Oh,
fantastic!
Okay. On the USA Network at 11 p.m.
Yeah. Yes.
Not bad.
Real quick before we end our hot takes, I would just like to inform a few things that I found out today. So I don't know if you guys did. We have a Mephisto finally.
Is it like actually confirmed? Like, I saw the rumors, but I don't know that I saw the confirmation.
I don't know if it's 100% confirmed, but right now people are speculating that Sacha Baron Cohen is going to be Mephisto.
Yeah.
I have not seen 17 videos by New Rockstar saying that they've confirmed Mephisto yet.
They had one, and my favorite part is why this is why I said this. The thumbnail literally says confirmed with slashed out and then rumored, and I was like, see, they think like I do.
So, and then they released the speculated cast for the Fantastic Four, and newsflash, it's not Krasinski.
Yeah, it's bad.
Reed Richards.
That's
going to be bad.
I hope that movie starts off and then like the whole Fantastic Four dies in 10 minutes, and then Krasinski comes out and goes, "Yeah, I'm the real Mr. Fantastic. Fuck you people."
What they should do is they should just not make a Fantastic Four, and they should just make a Doctor Doom, because that's what people want to see. If they don't have Krasinski as,
we're gonna see Doctor Doom in like
Four.
2.5 weeks, bro. It's fine.
Yeah, no.
That's the rumor, at least.
I mean, I'm hoping for it. Nonetheless.
So am I.
Brian, kick us into our first subject.
All right, our first subject is, what is the favorite D&D character you've ever played?
Brian, kick it started.
So, my favorite D&D character that I've played was a game that Dan was DMing, and it was my Tiefling Inquisitor. I love playing that character because there I realized that I don't like just doing big numbers. I like to be a support character. I like to make everyone else basically win. Like, that character was made to heal people and get people out of danger when they were in danger. And then I could also do some damage if needed. But I just love playing that character. Dan?
So, we have had a lot of different campaigns, most of which that have never concluded. But
Great job, brother.
yeah, I'm gonna surprise I think Bryan on this one. I think my favorite. This was like around the time where we had done like 3 or 4 different Star Wars campaigns. We had a lot of fun with Star Wars. I think that was like our first like real bread and butter. Like I think that's what we all really enjoyed with Rich as the DM and everything like that. And I remember I made a character based off of Rocket Raccoon. And this was like the first time I tried to do that. Like I was just like, all right, I'm gonna like really just find a character in lore and just do my best to like copy that character and then play him to the best of my ability. And I just had so much fucking fun playing some like little midget character that was super itty bitty tiny that just ran around, hacked computers, and literally blew shit up. Like that's literally what I did. And then to make it even better, Bryan played a character that was a giant cat that was basically Groot. It was perfect.
Yeah, because you were playing Little Cat and I was playing Big Cat.
Yeah, it was perfect. I just had so much fun, like really taking one of my favorite characters in Marvel and just creating it in a Dungeons and Dragons setting. It was a lot of fun. Ziggamus?
Now I know Ziggy doesn't have as much experience in D&D as you and me, so his options I know are more limited than ours.
They are limited, however.
But he can just pay $5 and pick another one.
That jar bought us many a pizza.
That jar did buy us
exactly. I can't tell you how many times that my character re-rolling has paid for your guys' pizza on a night. All right, so don't even give me no shit.
I'm not giving you shit. I'm just saying for $5 you could just pick another. It's fine.
Yeah. There's 50 more I came from, asshole. Great movie, by the way. You guys should check that out. Dorkness Rising. Anyway, so my favorite D&D character would probably have to be my Cellcath.
Without water?
Without water,
yeah. Honestly, Rich plays a mean DM. You gotta give props where credit's due. However, he strategically made me stay away from water to be the absolute beast of a marine. I don't even know what I would be considered, a marine person thing, something. Either way, he knew I'd been swimming circles around whatever the hell that he would have picked.
Wouldn't that
I'd
have been like
swimming
the
around
Navy?
fucking...
Just saying.
The Navy? No, this isn't One Piece, man. No, it's not the Navy. No, I
would have been like a naval
water.
Commander.
No, I wouldn't have been. I was an amphibious person.
Fair enough.
That's all I wanted to do was just use water to my advantage. That's it.
I do remember. We found a fountain, and you're like, I'm jumping in the fountain.
Yeah,
I remember that. I also remembered that he paid $5 to reroll his character, and then we went to a water planet.
Right after, and that was actually the last campaign. I believe Rich did it on purpose, really. And
100% he did it on purpose.
A little bit pissed off about that.
I would have done it. I would have done it. It's fine.
We're fine. But I picked like the worst class ever because the dude was just terrible. I was like, this sucks.
And then
the best class.
And then he put another $5.
Because you were playing a Jedi.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I was playing a Jedi, but I was more of like, I don't know. I was like, basically like a melee tank. I really didn't hit hard. I just could absorb a lot of damage and do that. I mean, like, it's just basically how I like to, whatever. It's what I like to do in games. I like to be up in the cut.
You like to be the tank.
Yeah, I like to be up in the cut. Someone will finally let me play my D&D character that I want is just do it 5 shields and just use his body as a weapon. Blunt force trauma. So
you just need to figure out a day when we can start playing.
I'll give you 5 shields, but 2 of them are mini shields that are used as kneecaps.
That's fine.
There you go.
Fine.
That's what you get.
I don't care. I'm cool with that. No, yeah, we do have to get a D&D session together. It's a little hard. I mean, like, honestly, it sucks that D&D is so much like you needing to be in or you wanting to be in the room with somebody, because honestly it's so hard with like the kids. Like I feel bad like leaving for a night, like going over somebody's house if I'm going to be gone for like friggin' 5 hours. You know what I mean? Where like if I could do it at the comfort of my own home, it might be a little messy, but at the end of the day I get to play with you guys, and I get to enjoy my time in doing so, which is big for me. Like I honestly do enjoy it a lot. I really liked Star Wars specifically because you got to roll so many damn dice, and that was what was fun for me. I look, hey, you got to take the little things out. All right, that is what. Don't shake your head at me for everybody who's listening and not watching. He's shaking his head as if it's not the coolest thing to roll a handful of dice.
Yeah.
Brian's like Force Lightning, and he picks up 26d6,
All right.
and he's just like,
all right.
bam.
It was like 8 or something.
It was 8.
13.
Yeah.
It was like
It was
13.
8. It was 8.
No, I don't
Now, for
bullshit.
what it's worth, it was bullshit at level 1. He rolled 8d6, and that was
Exactly.
Just, that was
Exactly.
bullshit.
And then like meanwhile you're like, yeah, we should get in the Pathfinder, and then you're like, here you go, roll a d4. I'm like, I don't even have a fucking d4.
No. We don't even hold on. We don't have to go to Pathfinder. We don't just go to the scoundrel at the table and go, oh yeah, what do you roll? And I'm like, a d8 and a d4.
Yeah, and then if I get a crit,
Yeah.
I get to go again. Or if anyone rolls a 1, I get to go again.
That's how I designed my character, Brian. All right, it's not my fault that I got to a point where like 18s were crits and I just like went off. That's not my fault, man.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, all in all, like my takeaway from this is that I do enjoy playing. It is fun, and I really wish that there would be a better way to do it. Like,
I think
you
it's
know what I mean?
weird.
And be like proxy. You know what I mean? Like be proxy while we're all there. Because like I like to be at the comfort of my own home and all that stuff. You know what I mean? And be comfortable. Not that I'm not comfortable at Dan's house or Brian's house, but it's just I got everything I need. You just walk around, do that, and it's just for me. That's what I like about it.
I think it's weird. And we live, Ziggy and I live in a world where we've been playing cards over webcams for the last 3 years. And I thought that like I've gotten to the point where like I'm pretty content with doing that, and it's fine. I would still rather do that than play any digital card game right now. It's just the whole lack of communication across from them, it's like the most annoying thing ever. But like for D&D, it's like it really is like it's just one of those things where I look at it more of
It's the interaction between people.
No, but it's not even just that. Like, so, like, we did the online thing, and I didn't hate it, right? Like, I still enjoyed that we were doing it and that we were still having fun and playing it. But, having you guys come over, making dinner or ordering food, whatever, having that camaraderie, specifically the last time we started doing it was great because we hadn't done that in so long. So for me, that was about, like, yeah, the kids are, the kids, and it is, that's something we got to get around and and work with. But for me, it's like it's D&D is fun. I've always had fun playing D&D since literally the first time Rich showed me how to do it when I was in like 9th grade. A lot of shout outs to Rich today. What's up, buddy? Happy birthday. His birthday just passed. Happy birthday, Rich. But yeah, so that's the problem is for me is that I look at that night as like a poker night or something like that. Like it's just like it's a good reason for us to get together for a couple hours and just have a lot of fucking fun and enjoy. That's really it. My problem is like if we were to commit to the online thing, I'd do it. I'd have a blast. It wouldn't bother me. But I didn't really look at it like, oh, we're just playing. No, like I looked at it as like a good excuse for us to get together and hang out.
Sure. I mean, I agree. I knew exactly what was going on when we were doing that. I mean, our our X factor here is Brian. Brian does not like the online version of it. I mean, there is a takeaway from it. Like it's the ability to be able to play, but what it takes away is the interactions, the fine interactions that happen on a couple hourly basis that we're just all there having a good time. So there is a slight takeaway from it, but it's just
It could also be I just haven't found a good virtual tabletop because I just think Roll20 is just garbage.
I mean, I thought Roll20 was decent. I thought that D&D Beyond was decent.
No, D&D Beyond is good, but it's just roll 20. It
Right,
just not very good interactive.
The platform in which we played on was very mediocre.
Yes.
Like it does what it's supposed to do, but it doesn't feel nearly as fun as taking your character, moving him, implementing him, running. Like it just doesn't have the same reaction. But it did its job. But I will say,
even like making
D&D
maps
Beyond,
on it is far harder than other virtual tabletops.
D&D Beyond is phenomenal. There's literally no debate. Like that entire interaction, that interface, that website, it's incredible.
Yeah, and now that it's owned by Wizards, so now it's getting like proper treatment that it deserves. It's not outsourced.
Fair. Okay.
So, all right. Our next topic is: what is your favorite wrestling team or faction currently? We'll start with Ziggy.
Favorite? It's a tough one because I don't necessarily want to take away anything from anybody, and it's not a team yet. The team that I'm waiting for is something that you guys experienced that I never did, and I am absolutely pumped for it. So, for those of you who don't know, me, Kelly, and Addison, and Amy, actually Kelly's sister, went to Extreme Rules, and my daughter, enjoyed her first taste of Bray Wyatt when coming out at the end of Extreme Rules. And let me tell you how pumped I was. I told Dan the following, what was it, like 2 days later, we're talking, I was like, my body is ready. Hey, look at that. There you go. So, I'm ready for Bray. I'm ready for Bray to see what he's gonna do. I'm super interested in what's going on with that. So that's where my investment is right now. Even though he's technically not a stable yet, all things leading to this, it's pointing to he's gonna have a stable. So that's my thing.
Yeah, right. I mean Bray had the Wyatt family, which was, I mean, phenomenal. It was the David versus Goliath, not really in that faction, but the battling of heads between them and the Shield were some of, best trios matches before they were called trios matches.
Yeah. Even then with the New Day.
Yeah, the New Day was another one for sure back then. Bray is he's phenomenal. I'm absolutely excited for everything that he's going to do. I'm so glad that it was him and it was not whatever the hell I said. Joe Gacy.
Joe Gacy.
Yeah, definitely wasn't that guy. But yeah, no, I think Bray's phenomenal. Whatever he does is probably going to be phenomenal, and I do think he is likely best as a leader cult something for sure, where he can use his minions, etc. when necessary. I don't think Bray's a guy that I want to see wrestle every week. I don't think he should wrestle every week. So like having his minions and shit like that just makes a lot of sense.
But he should be a guy we see every week, even if it's just him talking about some random nonsense.
I mean, sure, but he give the guy a 2.5 minute backstage segment, and you're still gonna be that still might be the only thing you'll remember about a certain show.
Yeah.
So
But yeah, that's mine. Sorry if it took anybody's, but Bray is what I'm excited for.
Go ahead, Bryan.
All right. So clearly, the best team is Gritty and Dexter Loomis.
All right.
Nah, I'm just messing.
That's perfect.
It's the Bloodline. Like everything they've been doing has been great. Sami Zayn in there is great. I know this is my third week talking about Sami Zayn, but
you're developing kind of like a man crush here, pal.
He's just good at what he does, man, and they're finally letting him do what he's capable of doing. Like,
I agree.
I just seen a video today of a live show where he hit Braun Strowman with a Superman punch. and Strowman
yeah.
actually went down.
It was at the live event last weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that Sami Zayn's work has been pretty stellar as of late.
Extraordinary.
So you get a you get a 2 thumbs up from me with that one.
Yeah, and like the Usos are arguably one of the best tag teams in WWE history.
Fair.
And Roman has beaten almost every record for titles. Like the only ones he's not going to beat are the ones that are like 5 years. So
I was reading a report that I believe around the time WrestleMania hits, he'll be like, since it's likely that he'll retain if it's against The Rock, as we keep saying, he's very likely going to hit 1,000 days, which is just like unfucking real. It's unreal to think that like in this era of wrestling, like 1,000 days, like that's just, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, because if you think of like all like the older like wrestling champions that have held it for like 5 years and whatnot, like they wrestled like maybe twice a year, 3 times a year.
I mean, it's not even that. It's the difference is that nowadays, you know, we have this conversation literally all the time. Like, there are so many people that could be champion.
Yeah,
like there are like.
I mean, he doesn't need both, but you know,
there are like, I would say off the cuff of my head, probably 10 different people currently that could be champion in WWE, and he's held it for 2.5 years. He's just like, it's insane. It really is. So I think that's the most impressive thing.
Yeah. All right, Dan, what's yours?
So I'm going to go super off topic here. Not really off topic, but I'm going to go off brand. I'm going to go AEW. From the moment that I seen this team live, I was sold. The Lucha Bros.
That's who I thought you were going to go.
Love the Lucha Bros. I mean, like, literally, it's 2 guys that don't even speak English, and I am completely invested. Every one of their matches that I can think of over the last year are phenomenal. They work so good together. They're so fluent. I would kill to see them on a run in WWE. I would. Oh my god! Them versus the Usos. Please give it to me. The Street Profits. Just give it to me. Like the Lucha Bros, I think are just unbelievable. So impressed by both of those guys. Like just. Man, some of the match. I mean, obviously the Young Bucks are also very incredible, but like the steel cage match with them and the Young Bucks, which is I do know there was like over a year ago, but that match is probably one of the best matches I can think of in tag team wrestling for quite some time. Yes, the Usos have had some absolute phenomenal ones recently, but if I go with just straight tag team, it's gotta be Lucha Bros. If I go with a faction, it's gotta be the Bloodline too. I don't think there's anyone that touches them at all. But, you know, I think Lucha Bros would be really cool. I'm definitely interested. I know the last time, when they signed with AEW, they were in talks with signing with WWE, but they went to AEW because it was just like, oh, this is going to be more tag team oriented, et cetera, et cetera. I do wonder that when their contracts end, if it's like, all right, well, we've been doing this for 4 or 5 years, why not go over there and, you know, wrestle those teams that will never have a chance to wrestle? That's kind of where I hope that we go.
It also seems like Triple H is more into the tag team and stables kind of thing.
I mean, can you guys name the stables that existed, like in June in WWE?
In June?
In June, like
stables 3 plus,
at
right?
least 3 plus people.
At least 3 plus.
I mean, like the New Day was 1, but they technically don't have Big E.
Yeah, the New Day haven't really been a full stable in almost 2 years now.
I mean,
but that's also because Big E's.
Well, no, it's because they got split up. They've been off brands for a couple years.
Yeah,
you know, like he was a world champion for a year time away from them. But yeah, no, New Day's 1 for sure. I wasn't even including New Day.
New Day, the Imperium,
nope,
Brawling Brutes.
Imperium was just, it wasn't even Imperium. It didn't become Imperium until Clash.
Is that when Giovanni came?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So Brawling Brutes, so they've been there for a while though.
I think they've been around, but I don't think they were literally called the Brawling Brutes until like midsummer.
Yeah, but they were technically a stable at
Sure,
that point, though.
but
Yeah, I mean, like we're going off of the staple. That's what I was going off of the staple. Anything.
even
anything
then,
with 3
so
people.
like even then, like how much love was the New Day getting in June? How much love was the Brawling Brutes getting in June?
Well, they weren't because
weren't.
Xavier was hurt
Right,
too.
but my point
so it
is,
was really only
is that
Kofi.
you didn't give a shit that they were a stable.
Well, I just don't think you were. I don't think that you didn't give a shit. I just don't think you were as invested because everybody was like out doing their own thing. There wasn't really
Right.
like prior to Triple H getting the reins. There wasn't anything that was like super interesting
Right.
going on, and that's what I think the issue is that if Triple H is bringing that he wants these factions to be a big thing, then yeah, it's good. It's good for them because it's interesting. It creates storyline. You know what I mean? Like you can have singles matches. You could do all this stuff. Like honestly, for me, the most entertaining matches of for over like this last couple of months, or let's say even the last 2 months. For me, the Brawling Brutes versus Imperium has been fucking great.
Yeah.
Like it has
Yeah.
just been spectacular fights. Like they're going after each other. I mean, like there's just a lot of things that make it feel, good. Like the things that I hate right now that WWE does is like these stupid ass squash matches, where like not squash, but like they bring in like the local town. I understand what they're
Talent
doing.
enhancement matches.
Yeah, I understand that, but like it's just like you put Braun Strowman against like two random idiots. It's like
I
me
mean, they
walking
haven't
in-
really done that though, for what it's worth.
They did. Braun Strowman just fought two idiots last week.
He did.
Oh, okay, well that was the first time they did that. They used because they normally do it for
literally
Omos, but he's been wrestling like Chad Gable and what the hell's
Yeah,
his
Omos
name?
normally kills like two random skinny people.
Omos is the
that are
joke.
fighting, and I'm
That's
just
why like the moment they're doing this, I'm telling you, I could not give a shit less about Omos versus Braun Strowman. I do not care at all. But
gonna
anyway,
be
super off
too
topic
big.
from where we're going. I think what you're saying is true. Is like, but my point is that in May and June, you really didn't give a shit about Sheamus. You didn't give a shit about Butch. You didn't give a shit about the other guy. Like you didn't give a shit about these people. The New Day were getting beat up every week because they had to. I don't even fucking know.
Raiders.
Right? Like I don't even
Viking
know.
Raiders are kicking
Yeah.
ass.
Damage control.
Sorry, the
right?
vicious Viking Raiders.
Damage control doesn't exist. Obviously, there was the Bloodline, and there was like I still think the Judgment Day needs. Even though they've been on the up, they still need to keep going in that direction.
They're not there yet, but they're at least working on it.
I think of like literally in the factions I just named, they're still the worst of all of those people, and they probably get way more screen time than all of them. I mean, they're a feature focal point of Monday Night Raw, and I still think they need more help. Rhea Ripley, apparently, I didn't know this, but I don't know if you guys saw this report. She actually wasn't cleared to wrestle until yesterday. So that's why she hasn't been in a match. That's why she hasn't I didn't realize that, but apparently she just got cleared yesterday.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
So she's actually wrestling on NXT tomorrow night. But yeah, that's why she hasn't wrestled, because she wasn't cleared to wrestle.
I figured something was up because she hasn't been there and she's been doing like very light like action. Like the guys haven't even really been touching her, even though she's been cracking the shit out of people with kendo sticks and brass knucks.
Yeah.
And steel chairs.
But like that's kind of the thing with the factions, is that like if you go back, I mean, let's be honest here. How did Triple H get made? A faction.
Faction.
And not even one of them. Two of them.
That's
if not, you can
technically-
make an argument for three of them actually. If we really
That's
want
how-
to be serious.
That's how the Rock. That's
There
how the
was
Rock skyrocketed, too.
there was DX,
Uh-huh.
the second DX,
Okay.
the McMahon Helmsley era.
No.
Yes, that was when he started the team up with the corporation guys.
Yeah. I wouldn't.
Then it was corporate Triple H, and
Yeah.
then the corporate ministry and Evolution.
No, I actually think there's one more than past the Evolution. The
There's
Authority.
one with
Oh yeah, Authority. Yeah.
I would say that DX, just DX as a sum total, Evolution and the Authority are three literal 20-year aparts type scenarios for him, that he was vital to all three of those things.
he was just.
but yeah.
I think he was cultivating
Right.
Orton's talent. So
Well, I mean, he did it, but he
Or
but he
then
did it,
Batista.
But he did it for Rollins also. He did it for Kevin Owens. Like he did these things. So the point is that he believes in factions where Vince hated them. I mean, he literally hated them. So that's why it was like, I don't. It was like the New Day or bust for like what, like 5 years? Like I don't even know.
Yeah.
Like I can't even think of another faction before the Bloodline. Like I can't even think of one. I'm just like,
In WWE, there wasn't.
hold on, wasn't there like that really awful one where it was like Sheamus, Baron Corbin, Alberto Del Rio, like the
the League of Nations.
Yeah, that
The League of
one.
Nations,
Oh
yeah.
my god, how terrible was that? Like, jeez.
But that was literally just enforcers for the authority, so I wouldn't even
Right.
count them as a fucking
I guess the
faction.
Shield. So there was the Shield too. The Shield would have been the other. The Shield and the New Day were huge, and the Wyatt. But it was like that. It was like that was it. Like, ugh. So yeah.
The Shield and the Bloodline, they both have one thing in common, and that's Roman Reigns.
It's. I mean, sure. Yeah.
But I mean, like the Rock was also, brought up by a.
I mean, The Rock was the Nation.
Yeah, he was.
But,
He
like,
was brought into the
But
Nation as like
the truth is
the
that
young guy.
He
and
kind
then-
of he eclipsed the Nation like super
yeah,
quickly.
He did it really quickly. I understand that.
when he realized that he was so much of a better heel than he was as a face when they first put him in, that's what made him big.
The problem is that I don't think the Nation made The Rock at all. Like honestly, like The Rock
No,
made
I-
himself.
I think that they gave him a foothold, and then once he took the leap, it was just all over from there. And he realized he was just,
Yeah.
the big draw.
I guess my point is like I don't think The Rock ever needed the Nation. He would have became The Rock without the Nation. Whereas Triple H, without DX, he never would have even been looked at.
Yeah, because I mean, he used to be like basically William Regal, Triple H.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
his original character
he
was
played-
not great.
Hunter Hearst Helms.
Yeah, it was not great.
Yeah, whatever.
But I just think that the DX platform allowed him to show his creative side that like Hunter Hearst Helmsley never would have been able to. Where like Rock was just The Rock, so like he just would have eventually became the Great One. So I don't know. Anyway, Triple H is definitely into factions super heavily, and I'm excited that we're finally getting ones that we actually are going to give a shit about.
Yeah.
Agreed.
All right. So our next topic: shows that you felt fell short this year. Dan?
Okay, there's a couple. I'm not even going to take the easy lob that has just occurred. I'm going to go with The Umbrella Academy.
Ooh, hurts.
It can hurt all you want. I really, really liked this show. I really enjoyed season 1. I thought season 2 was a little odd, but it was still interesting enough. I loathe timeline manipulation, but the show I felt did it really well and in a way that I didn't hate, unlike most things that fucks with the timelines. But this season was just like, it just felt like the worst way that you could fuck with a timeline. Like, they basically created a new team that was a carbon copy of them, but like just better. They were just better. And I'm not talking like they were strong or anything like that. They were just like, they were way more interesting of a team than the team that you're supposed to like support and enjoy. And it's just like, I don't know, the way the characters went through the season. I know, they had to play with the transition and everything like that because of the actor transitioning in real life. So like, it felt there was no way there was not going to feel forced in the show because like it just feels forced because it was a real life situation that had to occur. So it just felt like that. It not that it derailed the show, but it was just like the show didn't need that probably in any which way. So that didn't really help it. But in the end, like, it was just like not good. It wasn't entertaining. The best character is just like the funny guy because he's a funny guy and he just removes the mood from everything. So it just fell super short for me. Like and on top of that, I remember it came out and I literally didn't even know it was coming out. Like it was literally like email from Netflix on Friday going, "Oh hey, Umbrella season 3 came out," and I'm like, I didn't even see a trailer for that. Like, okay. So it's just like I didn't even have time to like even look forward to it because it was just like, nope, here it is. Like, oh, all right. And then it was just meh.
Number 1, you bite your fucking tongue because number 5 is fucking sick. He is the best part of that show. Kel would adamantly disagree with me, but I'm sure you guys can figure out who the hell she likes the most out of it. I mean, it's fairly simple, fairly cut and dry. But I, I had to disagree with you, man. I have to. I enjoyed the Umbrella Academy. It wasn't as good as the first one because it's kind of like first one kind of like ripped off a Band-Aid for us, I feel, and like kind of thrust us into it and kept us interested.
The first season of the Umbrella Academy very much reminded me of Heroes.
Yeah.
Where like the first season of Heroes, you're just like along for the entire ride and totally invested, and then there's like an end of the world like thing happening, and that's exactly how it felt. The problem is like they just tried to do the same thing every season, and now I'm just like, all right, well, it's not really cool if you just
Yeah.
like
Like, how many times can you end the world?
right,
You know?
like that's kind of where I'm at. It's like, all right, well, the second time it already happened, and now it's like, oh, here's a third time. And I'm just like, all right.
So I think that they did the thing with Elliot Page really well. Personally, I think they did because
I don't think it was
they-
bad.
they-
It's
yeah,
it just
no,
it's
no.
so forced.
I'm not saying that. No, no, it definitely was forced. 1,000%. It felt like it was like, in order for me to retain this character, I want you to make light of what happened to me in real life.
Right.
Sure, fine, whatever. Like it's fine. It's your personal opinion on things.
I mean, you can't
whatever.
do the show without her, so it doesn't really matter,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it was done well. It was done quick. You didn't really hear from it after it was done. It was kind of like just like the one thing. They shined on it like 2 episodes later or something when Klaus came back, effectively, which again handled it really well.
For me, Klaus is the
but-
entire show.
Klaus is great.
He's
I like
phenomenal.
I like 5 though. 5, you can't replace 5. 5's the best part of that show in my opinion.
Klaus is just
1,000%. That's Kelly's favorite too. Klaus.
Yeah, Klaus is phenomenal.
I personally, I think that he's hilarious. I think he's a great character, but I would 1,000% pick 5 over any of them. So, that's just me. I think that Luther is useless. I think it's such a stupid waste of a character. For Victor, I'm indifferent. I don't think we need her. I think that Diego was kind of funny this season too, like a little odd, but it just was like
Yeah, I don't
they
know.
introduced him having a kid, so it was like kind of weird.
Their whole subplot was just meh.
Yeah, it was just too much kid shit, and I was just like, eh.
Yeah.
But I mean, again,
Yeah.
fair enough.
Go for it.
All right. So I actually have 2. I'm gonna just touch on them real quick. One for me, I'm gonna go to Amazon Prime, and Upload fell short for me.
Wow, I liked Upload.
I wasn't a huge fan of it. It was just okay. It wasn't as interesting as the first time, so Upload was kind of like, eh.
I think I just have a crush on the MLs.
I think you do too. That's fine, which is fine. I mean, it shit happens. Whatever. The other show that I have currently is escaping me because I had it ready and I had it
She-Hulk.
figured out.
I'm just kidding.
No, it's not.
That's
it's
what I
not
was gonna say.
She-Hulk. Yeah, it's not She-Hulk. She-Hulk is. It's just. I'll let Brian have that one. But the other. Oh, okay. Never mind. I got it back. Sorry. Lock and Key. Super disappointing.
Yeah, it was terrible.
And me and you have talked about this on multiple occasions
so
in
bad.
Discord.
Mm.
And Lock and Key is just like, my God, you had legit, limitless possibilities to make that show really good. And you decided to use some old British soldier as the person now who is inherited by the demon guy. It was so dumb. I was
What's
just
worse?
like, this is
What's
so
worse is that
stupid.
wasn't even a season. That was the series. That was the series finale. It's
I
like,
would have.
Fuck.
Well, I mean, honestly, how bad the season 2 was, they basically shit the bed with the entire fucking thing.
Yeah,
so it would have been real bad if they
yeah.
would have went to season 3 with it.
Well, no. I'm saying
sorry,
on
season 4.
Yeah, I'm just saying it was just like I totally agree with you. This show had every type of imaginable thing that they could have explored.
Yeah.
And it was
My,
man.
The oldest brother, Tyler, I think he is a useless character. His acting is subpar at best.
What else was he in?
I don't know. He's a very forgettable character.
He's
though.
in something else that
He's
I think I
boring.
remember feeling the exact same way about that. I'm gonna
Yeah.
look it up real quick.
I was just like, this dude is just, oh my god, dude. I was like, put me in there. I could do better.
Oh, he's in X-Men,
What?
right? He's in First Class. He plays
There's
Iceman.
No way.
He plays Iceman, I think, in
He
First
plays
Class.
Iceman.
I think
Get the
so.
fuck out of here.
I swear to God, I'm pretty sure it's him.
I mean, the gay uncle plays Iceman.
Oh, that's what I meant. Who were we talking about
Yeah.
then? Oh, you're
I'm talking about Tyler,
Oh, sorry.
the brother.
I
the
was
main
thinking
Locke brother.
the older. Well, he's the
No,
oldest
he-
Locke. That's who I was
no,
thinking of.
no. He's
Oh yeah.
he's cool. Like the
He's
gay
alright.
uncle, he's cool.
Yeah, he's
I mean,
fine.
I don't mind him.
Tyler.
But
well,
Tyler's the oldest brother
Yeah.
of John Locke, or no, not
I
John.
want to
Is
know
his name
magic.
John Locke?
I don't want to know magic. I want to know
I'm
magic.
just like,
I killed my
dude.
girlfriend.
I was like, such a whiny bitch, man.
Pretty much.
Hey, why are you ruining the show for me?
Yeah.
I was like, your sister's so much cooler. If she was just the main character, I think I would.
The little guy was the best one. He was just interesting and fun. He is what the show needed for everyone to want. Like he's like, no, like I want to see what all this shit does. Like I'm not trying to
Yeah, I
break
mean,
anything,
like-
but I want to know what this shit does. And everyone's like, oh,
Yeah.
we can't use that. We can't have any fun.
I don't think
Guys.
the mom was really great season 1, but got better season 2 and 3.
Yeah.
But I just think the oldest brother got just strictly worse each time.
Yeah, like I
think
said,
that-
I know it's a comic series. I've never read them, but if they're anything like the show, they're terrible.
Season 3 was fucking boring.
Yeah,
Oh
it
my
was-
god.
It was bad. It was bad.
Yeah. So they're my two. I went Amazon, Netflix. So
All right,
I gave
let's
Prime Disney Plus.
let's shit on She-Hulk then.
Listen,
So-
Kevin.
So I enjoyed She-Hulk up until the last episode. Like
I
I'm
think
aware,
I-
Dan.
I
but-
think I tolerated She-Hulk is the best thing that I can say.
Because I understand like her character breaks the fourth wall and all that, but they went to an extreme way too fast in that last episode where they jumped the shark, and it was like, oh, so everything that just happened didn't happen. It was like it was a fucking dream. It was like the finale of Dallas. Like that. You
People who listen to this podcast, Brian, are
don't
not
know what
gonna
Dallas is.
What the fuck you're talking about?
I-
You gotta
I'm aware.
Do this decade, man. Listen, our
Well,
three,
hey,
our
hey,
three
say-
listeners,
saying jump the
our three
shark.
listeners, and Kel's not gonna know what Dallas is, okay?
Jump the
Kylie's
shark.
not.
Hold on.
Jump the shark. Some people might not even know what that means.
I know what jump the shark means. I don't know what Dallas means.
I'm talking
I
about
have no-
Dallas, man.
I don't know what Dallas is. What is Dallas?
So the ending of Dallas.
No, what is Dallas? What
It was
It was
a
a TV
show.
show. It was a TV show.
oh, from what?
Uh,
Like the year
for
like
old people.
74? Like is
For
that
old
is that where we're
people.
going?
No, probably
Yeah.
probably when we were like teenagers.
All right, it's
Yeah.
not important.
Oh.
So,
Like
but
20
to
plus
get
years
to get
ago.
back to the how way that ended, it was they killed off one of the main characters like 2 episodes before. His wife ended up falling into a coma in the episode before the end. She woke up from the coma, not actually being in a coma. It was like the whole last season was just a dream.
Oh, so it's like Lost.
Yes.
Sure.
So
Sounds
the
miserable.
fact that like they built up to this big fight
Mhm.
at the last episode, and they're just like, no, we're not gonna do that. Just like, why?
It's
Yeah,
really
it was just a waste of time.
it's really funny because like, and this is the this is just my problem with the entire show, is I don't even feel like they were building up to this big fight. Like I literally don't even feel that way. But what I find even worse is that I think this was the most interesting finale for any show thus far. I thought everything they did was super intriguing and 100% different and groundbreaking. The way that she just fluently spoke about things that were never really talked about before was all super interesting. However, it still sucked. It just fell so flat. And the worst of it is like, so in your opinion, they were building up this entire time to some giant fight, and that's great. I honestly don't even feel like they did that well enough, in my honest opinion. But my problem is that if they had even suggested even little itty bitty bits that she could legitimately break through the wall as
that's my biggest complaint.
Like, as opposed to just talking to it, right? Like,
Yeah.
I think I would have been more okay with it. And I get it. Like I said, I think it's if you don't even watch the show ever, it's worth watching the episode just to see how far outside the bounds they truly went with it. But for me, it was just like, even after they did it, it's like you said, they literally just erased the show. They're like, nope, none of this matters. That's the bigger problem. Is like, yeah, it was really cool that you did this, but I expected to come back and see some other type of no. Like, we're just gonna
I
skip
expected
it.
like her to be written into a way that she would win then, or like
it's not
that her Hulk and Abomination would then team up against the other Hulk guy and Titana. But instead, it's just like, no, he's arrested. Titana's just there taking selfies.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Daredevil is literally gonna pop out of a cloud.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Like you start off here with her talking to the crowd.
Yeah.
To the audience. All right.
So
and then we go all the way to here to her changing the goddamn script. We needed something in the middle to describe to people what was going on.
I'm gonna go ahead and hit you guys with a spoiler alert here for anybody else who wants to actually watch this. I personally don't like how they introduced Scar.
Oh, it was awful.
Because it was just like, it's like, this is just some, you know, I feel like I could have sponsored him for 25 cents a day, you know, at a local pizza shop. I was just like, this is so bad.
That also came out of randomly nowhere. Like,
yeah, they did that, and like they show the Hulk with like some Tommy Bahama fucking shirt on, and then it's just like he was like actually on vacation. Whereas like if you see like the old school comic book like excerpt of it, it's like the Hulk has like, it's like after, I think it's after like World War Hulk or something like that, or Planet Hulk, one or the other.
Yeah, it's
I think
after
it's Planet Hulk.
Yeah.
Planet Hulk. And he has like the shoulder guard on, and he's like talking to his son about like whatever, and it's just like bam, like he introduced Scar, and like it's like badass. And then you go and do this shit, and he was like a shy little kid that wanted to play with a ball, but there's the two kids were already playing with the ball, and I was just like, what the fuck, like for real, dude?
Well, I think what's worse is that it took away from a genuine moment in the episode that actually had like it had the, like, literally you just don't need it at all, which is the problem, right? Like, you just don't fucking need it in the show, literally at all. You just get anywhere else it could have happened, wouldn't have given a shit. The problem was like, you have this genuine conversation of like teasing of Daredevil and Matt Murdock and everything like that, and having this, and then all of a sudden you're just like, oh, everything that just happened for the last 29 minutes literally won't even be talked about probably because Scar exists. It was just like, all right, that's just another reason for me to hate this.
My huge takeaway from it was whenever you need an additional character from the MCU, you're just taking away from the person whose show it is.
Which was her entire point from episode 1, which makes it worse.
Just like
makes it worse.
For me, like when they put Daredevil in, I was like, oh, she's done. Like, she ain't getting a season 2. You know what I mean? Like that's
spoiler alert. She already got season 2.
Did she? For real?
Already renewed.
I would hope it's better than season 1 because man, it was tough.
The problem is that the Daredevil thing is something I actually like. This is my problem: is that if the show was what it was supposed to be, I would have enjoyed it. If it was this lawyer show and everything, I think I'd enjoy it. Like, what they can do with Daredevil and She-Hulk as lawyers in the MCU is interesting. Honestly, the lawyer scene, episode 8 was my favorite episode of the season by far, which is the episode he comes in at, where like that whole lawyer room banter.
With Leapfrog.
Yeah, with Leapfrog. Oh, phenomenal! Shout out to Leapfrog. But like literally that whole banter, I love that. That's great. That's phenomenal. That's Matt Murdock at his prime, and it's She-Hulk.
Biased.
Why?
Because you like Suits. That's the thing. That reminded you the most of Suits. You can't do that.
But that's fine. But the point is that Matt Murdock is just as interesting as Daredevil.
Fuck that.
The issue is
bring fucking hashtag.
The issue is that Jen
bring Froggy in.
Jen nor She-Hulk is interesting. That's the problem.
Look, I'm not a director I'm just gonna go ahead and throw a couple prerequisites out here. I'm not a director. I'm not talent acquisition. I'm not any of those people. I thought in the beginning that she was a good She-Hulk when I seen episode 1 and 2, and then right after that, I was like, she's not a good She-Hulk. Personal opinion. I just it for me doesn't do it. Like like the She-Hulk version of her is much better than the actor version of her. She's good at acting, like she did well, but not entertaining enough to the I don't like I mean like so like I guess what I'm trying to get at is like typecasting.
Hmm.
So like your Deadpool, for instance, is another person who breaks the fourth wall, but does it effectively and well. And
And it's Ryan Reynolds.
Deadpool, yeah, it's Ryan Reynolds. Like he's somebody. Like if you would have picked someone who was like I don't know, a comedian.
It's really funny because
Like,
like the characters that I'm all thinking of, like they're great actresses that they couldn't be She-Hulk. That's my problem. But like
Sure.
I hear what you're saying. Like Ryan Reynolds, he was literally born to play Deadpool. Like I mean,
Yeah.
he was just born. Same way as
Hugh
Robert
Jackman
Downey Jr. was born to play Iron Man. Hugh Jackman was born to play like. That's the issue is you're not always going to hit home runs, right? Like you can't always do it. But I agree that this is the type of character that you probably needed to.
I mean, if you wanted it to be interesting, if you wanted to draw more people into it, yeah, 100%.
And,
I mean,
and the weird thing is like this is like you can't even compare it. It's like she had like 5 hours of screen time to establish this character, which is way more than most characters do. You know, like way more in the MCU. I mean, like let's be honest. It took 2 Iron Man movies to have that same amount of time that she had in a course of 2.5 months. Not even like like 2.5 months. So that's the biggest takeaway is that 2.5 months in, I'm not excited for She-Hulk season 2. I don't really care where she shows up next. I'm not gonna be like, oh, pop excited about like I just. It was something to watch for 2.5 months.
And if you're going to use the show as like a way to set up other shows, doing it as the court drama is way better. Like having Matt Murdock versus her in a courtroom, and then having their clients be the characters you're introducing is a way better way to do it than the way that they just randomly threw people in.
Well, that's the thing is that in the future, they could literally lead both sides of the actual Civil War.
Yes.
Which is the most interesting thing that I think actually comes out of the show. But we have no idea that's actually going to happen, right? Like, we have no clue. I can hope. But that's pretty much the only thing that I'm even at all remotely, like, caring of if happens with She-Hulk at this point.
I think the biggest takeaway here is that the supporting characters were far better than the main character of
Yeah,
the show.
they were.
Like you have your Emil
Pug.
Blonsky, you have that whole group thing.
Pug
where
and
he
Nikki was great. Emil was great.
Yeah, where he was sitting there trying to rehab those
Leapfrog was
villains or
great.
whatever.
Like,
when he sat there and tried to rehab those villains, that was probably the best episode there. I think it was episode like 6 is when she went there to go to his retreat to see what was going on.
I believe it was 6.
I think it was 7.
And then
6
they
was
were
the
like,
wedding, I think.
They were like, what the hell did they say? When they were like, oh man, why don't you just take your mask off? And he took his mask off,
Yeah.
and he's all nasty, and they're like, oh, never mind, you put it back on.
Put it back on.
I was like, that's great. Like Porcupine, fantastic. The man pig, whatever his name was, I forget. And then the other guy, the Spanish luchador dude, whatever he was, or the
Crusher.
bull.
I think the show was very clippable. The problem is that in 34 minutes you can't just be talking about a 35-second clip and be like, yeah, that's why I like the show, and that's the problem.
Like if you design a show based off of just TikTok videos, then I guess you created that. Good job.
Yeah.
The major thing too, like even her as a lawyer, like even when she was the lawyer version, the supporting actors and actresses that were the lawyers were better than her at it. Like
the rest of the law firm,
yeah, her paralegal, fantastic. She was a great character.
I mean, I like Nikki a bunch. I thought Jen in episodes 1 and 2 was the most I liked Jen the entire season.
Sure, yeah, when she was less of She-Hulk, more of Jen. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I can agree with that. I mean, I probably, if you had told me that Madison with a Y, but not where we think it's from, who's gonna have a show, I'd
That's what I'm
probably
saying,
be more interested to see that.
That's what I'm saying. That's the point, though. Is like you had all these clippable characters and clippable lines. And it's like, yeah, it's great, but like, I'm not gonna remember those. Like, I'll be excited when Madison comes out again. Like, oh shit, yeah, it's Madison. I forgot that she existed because she was on a show that nobody really cared about.
You needed Wong in there to kind of put things through for the first couple episodes. Then you needed Emil to pick up the slack, and then you needed whatever. And like the messed up part about this is that like, I mean, Titania was even more interesting than.
I don't know. She didn't do anything.
She did nothing.
She did nothing.
I'm just saying.
Like, what
I'm
is
just
interesting
saying
about
as
her?
a-
She didn't do anything.
No, it's just like the fact that her storyline was solid, everything that was going on. Like
It didn't even end.
It ended. Yes, it did.
It ended the same way it started. She smashed through a wall, and that was it. Like her whole story is I smashed through a wall.
Is her storyline she's the Kool-Aid Man?
Like, yeah.
Like,
What did she do? What did she
Anyway,
do?
you guys want to cumber this cookie full circle? I don't want to hear it. You guys lose this one.
What did she
so,
do?
No, what I'm just saying is that all in all these other things, these other factors inside the show, just made the show less about her and more about everything else.
Even though
if
she
this
kept
was just
telling you it was about her.
Yeah, even if this would have been a better thing if the MCU just did like the shorts like Groot, like those 6-minute shorts that they have. I think I would have been more interested in something like that to build up hype.
I
But,
think,
like,
ironically, and this is just because of the way it all went down, it would have been better if we got Born Again first, and you were introducing She-Hulk in Born Again. That's probably, honestly, where I think it would have been better. I don't think I was expecting her to carry a show of her own, and she
not for
didn't.
fucking 9 episodes.
And she didn't. So, like, unlike where if you did make a show about Wong, or if you did make a show about Abomination, or if you did make a show about Daredevil, like, I would be okay with her being introduced in those shows as a side supporting character, because at the end of the day, that's what she felt. It didn't feel like there was a main character of the show. It felt like the whole time it was just supporting characters.
Yeah.
So.
Like if they would have hopped around to Hell's Kitchen and then over to Wong, it probably would have been a better show.
Yeah.
Just like 3 separate storylines joined into one, wrapping it up, and
All right, so all I'm hearing is we need to make Marvel suits.
I mean, that's what Dan's saying. I don't think we should. I like. Here's the thing: when you think of superheroes, you think of like grandiose action scenes. You know, there's a lot of background to it, but that's what fills out the rest of the show. Like the fact that she's not really doing anything and she's a Hulk. Like I'm just like, come on, man. Like fucking break through shit, rip a car in half, throw a fucking car at
She
somebody.
broke through the entire universe, bro.
I don't give a shit. That was so boring.
Like I said,
I'm mad as fuck that she's a Hulk and she only like broke 1 car.
Super kudos for literally opening the Disney Plus platform. I was definitely like, what in the fuck?
That's good. Honestly, if she didn't pop out or continue music was like continue,
You would have
music was
thought
happening,
you would have thought it something messed
I would have
up.
thought I was like, who the fuck stepped on the remote? Ad. Choke slamming.
Yeah,
I'm gonna hook you up with the South of Heaven right now.
I
Don't
believe
fucking
that.
give me the remote.
I believe that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that's what hit me. That's all.
Bryan, random question of the week.
Random question of the week. What movie are you guys looking forward to seeing?
That's a good one.
That's a layup.
That's solid.
Well, Bryan, go ahead. You start.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's hear it, Bri.
I'm actually looking forward to seeing the Mario movie.
Okay.
It actually looks like it's going to be really good.
My dad's in that.
I know. Jack Black's as Bowser.
Oh yeah. Did you hear who they're getting to play Donkey Kong?
Yeah.
I
No.
can't wait to hear the laugh.
Who's
I
playing
can't
Donkey
wait.
Kong?
If I have to say, don't say anything, Brian. If I have to say, I can't wait to hear the laugh. Who am I talking about? You gotta think. Come on, man.
I don't know.
Who has a great laugh in Hollywood? Who's known for their laugh?
I don't know. Just tell me.
Seth Rogen, man.
Seth
Rogen's
Rogen
was-
is Donkey Kong?
Yeah.
That's hysterical. That's actually really funny.
The movie looks like it's going to be really good. I also feel like there's going to be a lot of musical moments in the movie too.
I agree.
The cast has the capability of it.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the duet between Bowser and Peach.
Yeah, sure.
I think that's going to be a good movie. But, Dan, what do you think? Said it was a layup, and now you're thinking.
No, I mean, like, because the layup is just saying Wakanda forever. Because I don't know. I'm just very intrigued on how well they're gonna do this for Chadwick. I think it's gonna be a very emotional movie. It's basically ending the phase, so it has to be impactful as well. I feel. So I feel like the movie is gonna hit for a lot of different reasons, and it's basically just gonna tug at your heartstrings for like 2 hours and 40 minutes or whatever the hell it is. So I don't know. I think that for me, I think it's that I can't even really think of anything else that's like coming out in like the next 3 or 4 months that I would even care about. Probably not until Guardians at this point. So, yeah, it's just Wakanda forever.
So, my only gripe with Wakanda Forever is that it's like the first time that they're effectively not recasting. Like, so I'm on the fence here. They're not recasting the Black Panther, and while, again, like there's people that you feel like embody.
For what it's
the role.
worth, they could.
No, but they're not doing it.
But
and
I'm saying you don't know that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you do. You know that he's not. They're not making a male Black Panther in this one.
You don't know that for sure.
I mean, sure.
It could
okay.
still end with the postseason credits of some new dude with a suit. I'm just saying, like it's
sure. Well,
it's still possible.
If they do that, you 100% know that it's because of the amount of backlash that they've been getting online.
Maybe
That's the only way, because everybody's saying that like even the family of Chadwick Boseman wants them to recast it because they think that he's always going to be remembered as the Black Panther or one of the Black Panthers. Like, you're never going to be able to take that away from him.
No.
Ever. He was I think he was very good as T'Challa. There's no doubt about it. Some may even say great. I feel like he was very good / great, at playing the role. It felt natural to see him play that role. Yeah. My only gripe with everything is that like you're affected if they don't recast him, you're killing off an A-tier character, an A-tier superhero, which is the first time that they've really ever done this, where they're just refusing to recast him, all that stuff.
I mean, they haven't recast Iron Man. They haven't recast. Well, they did.
Iron Man. So in the chronological order, if you want to really get down to it, the next Iron Man or the next thing for Tony Stark to do is to become AI.
Sure.
He gets literally uploaded.
But my point is that that they could easily have Iron Man still.
But they don't, though. The next person in the chronological order is Ironheart, and you're going to see her in this. I mean, technically, I guess War Machine, but War Machine didn't really go anywhere. So
I mean, with them introducing the multiverse,
no, that's my point.
Like,
is that
we could have someone come as Tony Stark. We could have Killmonger show up as Black Panther.
Like, what do we have? Like 4 Spider-Mans that are MCU canon now. Like the point is that if you wanted another Iron Man, you could have another Iron Man.
I don't know I don't know like if Iron Man was ever like in the.
No, it would still be Tony Stark.
No, I understand exactly what you're saying, but I'm saying I don't think they've ever done that. I think that it was literally like Iron Man, then Tony gets uploaded into AI, but before then finds the girl.
I mean, Tony got uploaded into AI for like one comic series. It's not like there's comic series out today that he is not an AI. He's Tony Stark.
Sure, so, but I mean, like I'm saying, the order that they're playing off of right now, the next thing for Tony Stark to do is to get uploaded into. He makes himself AI. Yeah. He makes himself effectively Ultron.
I mean, they have literally not shown anything at all connecting that he will be AI for Ironheart.
They just released something with War Machine's gonna get his own either movie or series.
No,
and he's
he
gonna,
did. He did get upgraded to a movie. It was supposed to be a series.
Okay, well then Tony Stark's supposed to be AI in that.
That makes
So,
sense.
And that's the order. That's the reason. The order, like what I'm following in. So, when it comes to that, like I think Cheeto played. I like Terrence Howard as the first War Machine personally.
I think Don Cheadle has had like more roles in movies than any other character in the MCU.
I like Don Cheadle. I think he's
Yeah,
good.
I've
Yeah.
always liked Don Cheadle. I like Don
the-
Cheadle outside of War Machine.
So I guess what I'm gonna go after is something that is on the books. Technically, I just don't know when it's coming out, and it's because I like the franchise enough to, check it out. And I'm gonna go with Clerks 3.
I'm out.
That's fine. I love Jay and Silent Bob.
I love them too, but that
I love them
trailer,
too, but
that trailer
that's
looked
not-
like just.
I know it's
looks
not
like dog
Clerks, but
shit.
it's just I'm gonna watch it. I'm just gonna try it. The other one that I know that I'm going to also want to see with Kel, though, specifically only with Kel, is Don't Worry Darling, and that's the one with Harry Styles and Florence Pugh. And it's like the psychological thriller thing. It looks pretty decent. I mean, I would assume she would want to see something like that, so I'd be in to see it. It doesn't look half bad. And that's really all that I know that's really coming out. I mean, I literally had to like Google it, and
House of Lies. That was the show that Don Cheadle was on that I really liked.
okay, that was a HBO
Yeah,
or
Yeah.
Showtime.
yeah. 2012.
Wasn't he? Didn't he also play like military in that too?
He was part of
He was
the cabinet for
yeah.
Kevin Spacey, wasn't
Yeah.
Yeah.
he? Or wait, I'm thinking House of Cards. Never mind.
No, he was.
No, that's
He
not
was.
House of
He
Lies.
definitely wore a suit. I'm trying to remember. Exactly. What he
IMDb him.
was. I am. I'm just looking at it.
Well, can we
He
talk
was a
about our boy?
consultants.
Oh, can we talk about our boy Edge becoming?
Oh yeah,
Airy?
He's MCU canon.
Eh?
Oh no, he's not. I'm sorry. He's Disney canon now.
Disney.
Yeah. Well, I
Um,
guess Ares is MCU canon because of Thor: Love and Thunder.
Technically,
But-
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's cool. Percy Jackson. I'm excited.
And I think that's cool. Liv is gonna be in, as we were talking about earlier. Liv's gonna be in Chucky. I think it's cool that these wrestlers are gonna be in there because there is
I mean,
some things
like the Chucky thing is like a slam dunk. There's no reason for them not to use a WWE superstar in their show, especially if they're just going to kill her. Like why would you not take that opportunity to go? Oh yeah, she has, I don't know, 300,000 followers on Twitter. Like let's just have her tweet about our show. Like that's like a slam dunk, duh.
So sidebar, did you guys watch SmackDown this last week? Obviously, because everything with Bray. Did you
Yeah.
think there was like an enormous amount of ads like the entire time?
What do you mean?
What do you mean? Bray Wyatt's coming out next.
What do you mean?
No, not that. I'm talking about like actual ads. Like the amount of ads were just bonkers. It was like through
Oh
the
no,
roof.
there were a lot of commercials, but
Yeah, like that's what I
Yeah.
mean. Like the commercial ads and shit. It was crazy. I was like, what is going on? I felt like I just got it because it was like, and up next Bray Wyatt, and like it like
It
meandered for,
literally,
like a minute.
it
and
literally
then it
went
was like
from up next to an advertisement to another thing about Bray Wyatt that said tonight instead of up next. Like that actually happened.
and then
Yeah.
another one said up next, and then he still wasn't up next because they were milking the ratings as much as they could for the entire show.
I'm gonna be honest.
we don't live tweet with each other
yeah.
because we're not popular enough, but we do live Discord with each other, and it's pretty hilarious to be in there because we're just sitting there and ripping jokes at each other the entire time.
It's pretty crappy because like I thought the premiere of SmackDown was very good. I thought Extreme Rules was very good, and then I thought the last 3 shows since Extreme Rules have all been just mediocre.
SmackDown
at
this
best.
week was awful, minus Bray Wyatt.
You guys are nuts. It's been banger after banger after banger.
Right. It wasn't.
I'm joking.
So yeah,
I'm joking.
literally, we started recording early tonight because Ziggy was falling asleep watching Raw, and I don't blame him because I was literally I wanted to watch. I was only gonna finish watching Raw in case we started talking about it on this show. That was the only reason I was gonna finish it because
the only thing I wanted to watch on Raw, we started filming before it started, so I couldn't see it.
It was the title match and Seth Rollins won. Spoilers.
That's not what I wanted to
Okay.
see. I wanted to see Elias.
I think he helped Seth Rollins
came
win.
out. Yeah.
Excellent.
So your storyline's going to be Riddle versus Elias.
That's great because it gets them away from Seth Rollins versus Riddle. That's phenomenal. I'm all about that.
See, I'm surprised we're
How
not getting
about Brock Lesnar getting
Elias
his ass
versus we're not getting Elias versus Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
You know, he did kill his brother.
Did Kevin Owens get
Well,
hurt or something?
No, yeah,
what is going on?
KO's been out for a couple.
It's been like 4
like
episodes since I've seen
3
Kevin
weeks?
Owens. I'm a little upset.
Three.
I said something about that in Discord a couple days ago. Like, what the fuck? Where's
Think
Kevin
he's
Owens?
hurt, but I don't know where
I
he's
have
at.
not seen a single report saying that he was hurt. Not one. So I wonder what the hell's going on. Where's my boy KO? But anyway, go ahead, Brian. Wrap us up.
No. So that's been the Up or Down podcast. I've been Brian. That's been Dan, and that's been Ziggy.
I mean, we've always been those people.